All right, y'all, it is April 1st, day one of trying my actual hardest to fulfill my potential. I'm out here about to go for this run. But I'm out here first thing before work, before reading, before anything else, because something I've been learning is you need to conquer the biggest task first. And I know for a fact if I go and I work and I read, by the time it gets to this evening, I'm not going to want to go for that run. So I'm trying to get it in today. 2-mile run. It feels like 26 degrees outside, but we're doing it anyways. So yeah, see you guys. Y'all, I cannot breathe, bro. 2 miles, 17 minutes, 20 seconds. Let's get home, do some work. One quick thing before I do get to work. In my last video, I mentioned that having like a crystal clear focus of what you actually want and like what your goals are is very important for your success and how efficient you are with your work. So I will be showing you guys the steps I'm going to be taking to write down my goals and write down a plan of action in my journal. So the steps I've been taking up to this point is just like never let myself deviate from this one path that I just want to be successful. But now it's time to actually write down my goals and write down a plan of action. So let's do it. Step one is you're gonna want to get yourself a blank sheet of paper, or in my case, my journal, and then you're gonna want to grab a pen. All right, once you have your paper or journal and you got a pen or pencil, what you want to do is just write down 10 goals that you want to accomplish within a year, and but write them in the present tense. For example, like I earn X amount of money, or I drive this car, right? So just write it in the present tense. All right, I just spent a minute writing down my 10 goals. So for me personally, I make 20K profit a month. I'm in the best shape of my life. I run a Discord with 500 plus active, motivated people. I have 50K subs on YouTube and 200K followers across all platforms. I drive a Toyota Supra. My parents aren't doubting the path that I chose. I live in a city. I'm surrounded and I'm friends with other entrepreneurs. I have a clean diet every day. I'm in the advanced program. So I am in a course right now that has helped me make over $20,000 already. But I'm holding on to a lot of that money because I'm saving up for a bulk order on the products, because I'm actually running pre-orders right now. So now that I have a list of 10 goals, I'm going to look at the 10 goals and I'm going to be like, what jumps out to me? If I could have that one goal in the next 24 hours, what would make the biggest impact on my life? And for me, I think personally, it's the one at the very top right there. I make $20,000 in profit per month, because that just opens so many doors. Money might not buy happiness, but it does buy freedom. So now what you do, you take the one goal that really jumps out at you, you put it on a separate piece of paper, and then you start building a plan. So it's been about 15 minutes, and I just spent some time writing down a list of every single possible thing that I could do to reach that 20K per month in profit average. After you've written down everything you can think of, then on a separate sheet of paper, you're gonna start organizing it into a plan. So what needs to be done first, and what could you do later? What has to be done before a different task can be completed? So just real quick, before I actually get into filming my videos, getting the set ready and everything. So basically, I got my Instagram account for my product deleted because there's a new AI going through Meta, so Instagram and Facebook, and it is just banning anything they think goes against their community guidelines. So I've had 3 accounts in the past week get banned. 2 of them I had an option to appeal, but the one that I'm selling my watches on got banned with no chance to appeal. 35,000 followers and like 30 million views down the drain. So basically, I just had to buy a new phone. So basically, I just bought an old iPhone 11, and I'll just set up a new Apple ID, and I'll just make a new Instagram account. So one thing one of my coaches said in one of the calls that I had is there's always a solution. So, it is super unfortunate. I spent like 5 months grinding that account up to 35K, super healthy Instagram account. But you know what? We will prevail. And we will do 10K in profit in the month of April. So I'm not going to be able to do that unless I freaking stop crying and just buy the new phone, make a new Apple ID, and make a new account. This is usually my set, so with a little bit of editing magic, and there it is. This is the set. So it really doesn't take long to set up. I have a few different posters that I can choose from, but basically in today's video, I'm just gonna like try and create some controversy by adding a non-One Piece character in here. So you can see I got the lights and stuff. My room is a little messy and the light box is on the bed, but you know, you gotta get creative to make these sets really come to life. I just finished filming the actual clips. As you can see, it's a little bit messier. All right, so it is now evening. I finished all my work for the day, and you can see right here, I'm talking about the book, but I basically finished The Psychology of Money today. Tomorrow I'm gonna get started finishing this book called Eat That Frog. But for the next 2 days, I will be grinding my butt off just like I did today, trying to find any way to improve, and we'll just see how these next 2 days go. And then we can talk about the results on Friday. So I will see you guys at the end, but cue the montage for the next 2 days. Bow. What you doing, buddy? Let's go, y'all. 2 mile run. Good walk once. Now let's continue. It has officially been 3 days since I started trying my absolute hardest to fulfill my potential and be the person that I know that I can be. Since it's been 3 days, I want to stick with the theme of threes. I want to talk about 3 things that I did well, 3 things I need to improve, and 3 brand new things that I want to implement moving forward. To start it off, I want to talk about the 3 things I did well. Number 1, I read every single day. When it came to reading, it really wasn't hard to do because it's something that I want to do and it's something I enjoy. And I'm happy that that's the case because the amount of knowledge and wisdom I get from these books is actually insane. The reason I can confidently say that I've gotten better every single day is just because each day there's at least one thing that I hear from the book that I can implement. One of those things being, I started implementing using sticky notes instead of trying to use my notes app. I just have one sticky note for each day and I'll fill it out the night before. If there's anything that I can think of the next day to add on, I'll just add it, but that sticky note is always right there. Something about crossing it off the list just feels so good and I feel a lot more organized and I felt like my days were a lot more efficient than they were in the past. Number 2, I ran every single day. When it came to running, it really was a no-brainer for me. Running gives me such mental clarity throughout the day and it makes me feel like I've already wiped out the hardest task of the day. There's really nothing I can compare to the mental toughness it takes. Just like, for me, I'm a beginner runner, and to complete 2 miles without walking whatsoever, it was really tough, but the reward of actually sticking with it and finishing the 2 miles feels so good that any task for my work really feels like a breeze. Number 3, I actually felt like I made progress every single day. Me improving every single day has so much to do with 2 things. Firstly, I implemented this sticky note strategy where I just write down a list of everything I need to do the night before. And that leads me to my second thing. I never would have even learned the sticky note thing if it wasn't for reading every single day. The 3 things I felt like I needed to improve was number 1, my actual videos. I do a lot of edit style videos for my product, and I know there's a lot better content out there for me to use inspiration from. And I've already done calls with my coaches where he mentioned the different styles I need to try, and I just haven't gotten to it. So that is definitely something I need to improve. The second thing I need to improve is my problem solving. There's a lot of problems I run into with each individual task of trying to run e-commerce, and my problem solving is really slow and I rely a lot on my coaches. I need to be more innovative when it comes to solving problems, and it's very annoying if I get stuck on a roadblock and I let it waste my entire day. Last, but most certainly not least, is I need to improve my speed with tasks. This kind of ties into the last thing, but I do the sticky note strategy and it helps me have clarity for what I need to do next, but my actual efficiency for the individual task isn't as fast as I want it to be. As I start stacking up more tasks while I'm scaling this brand, it's going to be very difficult to do everything I need to do in the day if I can't do them efficiently. So the third thing I want to improve on is improving the speed and efficiency at which I complete each individual task. Lastly, the 3 things that I want to add on is number 1, I want to start stretching nightly. The 3 days of running felt really great, but the last day, I just could not get myself to run. My hips were tight and my shins really hurt. The second thing is actually working out. I used to do calisthenics workouts and I actually want to add those back in. I've been running every single day and that's good for endurance and overall cardio, but I also want to add in some strength training because I've been paying attention to my diet and making sure I hit my calorie and protein goals, but it doesn't really mean too much if I'm not actually working out and trying to build muscle. So that's the next thing I want to actually add into my daily routine. Thirdly, the last thing I want to implement moving forward is I actually want to highlight while I'm reading. There are a lot of things that really stand out to me over all the other paragraphs that I was reading that just really hit me, but I can't always remember all of them. I would love if every single time I read through a book, I used a different color highlighter, just so that I know, first time I read through, this is what actually stood out to me. Second time I read through, this is what stood out to me. And just seeing how my brain can change and what different things stand out to me. It will also help a lot with the amount of things that I can learn from a book if I'm able to go back and just look at exactly what stood out. With that being said, these past 3 days have been some of the most impactful days of my life because I really feel like I'm building this momentum that I'll never let fall. And I'm not ignorant to the fact that there will be slumps and there will be roadblocks, but I know for a fact that if I continue to feel like I'm making 1% progress every single day, nothing can stop me from achieving any goal that I write down. Right now, my goal is to make $20,000 in profit per month by the end of this year. And I'm going to continue to make progress toward each and every single goal that I set. Every single day, I know for a fact that one day I'll have real value to provide to you guys. And I know that there will be a few people out there that are watching my videos when they're viral. They'll come back to these first videos and they'll think, dang, this is really where he started? And that's what I want. This is not an educational YouTube page. This is me documenting my journey for anyone that might be in the same place or worse. They can see that this is truly, truly possible. A couple years ago, I developed this dream of wanting to become an entrepreneur. And when I found e-commerce, it was nothing but a distant hope. I grinded for 3 months, only losing money before I made my first $20 sale. Now I've done over $40,000 total across all my brands. But I know that's still nothing. I want to be doing $40K in revenue per month if I want to do $20,000 in profit. I know that success is a journey, but it's a journey that I'm ready to take. So with that being said, I'm going to continue to document my journey and post it every Tuesday and Friday, just updating you guys with everything that I've learned. So please, if you have a dream, now is your time to start taking action. Write down your goals, write out a plan of action, and just start taking steps. Small movement is better than no movement. I'll see you guys in the next video.